Good morning, Mr. Chow. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you.
Great. I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to meet you last week at the Georgetown Brewing tasting room.
Yes.
I really appreciate you making the time for me to come talk to you today.
Thank you. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it.
Definitely. So during this meeting, more than anything, I'd just like to learn a little bit more about your business, hear about some of your processes, and share some of my business, Nalco Water, some of our solutions, and see if there's a good fit to, see if there's a way that we can fit together in future success, right? So I'd like to ask a couple questions about your brewing process, a couple questions about your goals for the future, and then share a little bit about my company and see if we can find some of those opportunities. Does that sound like a good plan to you?
Sure.
Great.
How can I help?
Yeah. Well, let's get started. How do you hope Georgetown will look over the next couple years, and what do you wish to achieve?
Yeah, Georgetown has long wanted to make a name for ourselves, and as the producer of Seattle's most iconic pale ale brewery. Right now, our most popular pale ale is the Manny's. So we're focusing on finding lots of new markets for that specific product. And by doing so, overall just improve our brand recognition, get it out there.
Sure, great. So I understand that you're not the only brewery, however, looking to secure that position at the front of the pale ale market.
No, yes, you're absolutely right. Elysian and Fremont Brewing are our major competitions, but naturally we prefer our taste of pale ale.
Absolutely. Well, I do too. I can definitely agree that you're working with a great product. So that's one advantage you got going. What other advantages do you hope to develop over your competition?
We do take a lot of pride in being Seattle's largest independent brewery. But of course, the challenge of being independent usually means we're operating on a very tight margin than some of our other competitions. And that's kind of stinging us.
Sure, definitely. Well, I would understand then that you probably want to find some opportunities to free up some capital to reinvest in your goals. Is that right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love saving money as long as we're in compromising the value of our products.
Definitely. So where have you seen some of these opportunities for savings in the past?
Well, we don't want to switch any raw material suppliers and potentially compromise product quality. We are looking to move toward efficiencies of labor and other systems in the brewery.
I see. Great. I think Nalco Water might be able to help with some of those, and I'd love to share with some of those solutions in a little bit, but first I'd like to hear a little bit more about your brewing equipment. What can you tell me about what you're working with here?
Yeah, so we have 3 vessels, 60-barrel brew house, and a 2-vessel, 15-barrel brew house, and are considering adding a 1 more barrel brewing system soon.
I see.
So a lot of systems.
Sure, definitely. So you're working with a pretty sizable system for an independent brewery then. What does the cleaning process look like for a brewery of your size?
Yeah, so our process requires disassembling of some of our equipment, and washing, rinsing, and sanitizing the cycle, cleaning the floor, and larger scale washing processes like for larger drums and apparatus, which can sometimes take a lot of time and effort.
I see. And about how much water does it take for your whole brewing process?
We actually go through almost 9 million gallons per year. And as you might imagine, that constitutes a major cost for us.
I see, yeah. And I understand that water here in the city of Seattle is becoming more expensive as well. Is that right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
I see. Well, Fortunately, Nalco Water has a couple of solutions that might be able to help with those costs and that sort of thing. Before I get into them, though, I'd imagine that the cleaning and maintenance, on top of taking so much water, must also take quite a bit of time for your brewing process as well. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Well, what would you say if I told you that Nalco Water has a craft brewing package designed specifically and customizable for breweries like yours to help you, save some of that water, save some of that time, make some efficiencies to save money?
I'm all ears.
Sure. Well, the premier feature of our craft breweries package are cleaning in place chemicals. Basically, what these allow you to do is to streamline your brewery sanitization process. So you'll only require a little bit of disassembly. You can clean everything right there in-house. You won't have to, use outside labor, or even, I understand some breweries have to ship out some of their equipment to get it cleaned. No need for that. You can do it all in your brewery. It's very quick, and it saves actually a really significant amount of water too. That'll help to save the cost of the time that it takes, save the cost of the water that it takes, and free up some of that capital to reinvest in some of your other goals to get the edge on your competition. How do those possibilities sound to you?
Well, you definitely caught my interest. How about we meet again soon?
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to schedule a demonstration for you sometime next week.
Wednesday at 6 o'clock works for me.
Sounds great. We'll make it work.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cho.
Thank you.